Hey guys, welcome back. In this conversation I had with millionaire entrepreneur Liz Benny, she had some really good practical tips, especially for people who are trying to get to that $1 million mark, or they're just beyond that, how to really scale that up using content. So she had this term, she called herself Just Me-itis, because she was this farm girl that came from nowhere and she went on to become a millionaire. So I asked her and she explained something really simple. And she just figured out, how do you get paid for being yourself? I'll see you in there.
The Content Capitalist Podcast.
You have greatness within you, and your just me-itis is the biggest block for you actually stepping in and A, changing your own finances, and B, changing somebody else's life. So get past your BS of like, it's just me, it's just who I am. No. You're incredible at who you are. Like, you're the only you. That's the stupidest statement that I've made on this whole podcast. I apologize for that. But there is greatness within you that other people need and want and will pay for, period. And the thing that's stopping you from doing it, just keep going. Just please keep going, because holy crap, if a little farm girl with buck teeth from South Otago in New Zealand can be sitting here in Montana with clients all around the world, anyone can do it. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So how does somebody who's a farm girl get involved in the internet and make $1 million business out of it, right? So what happened was somebody got a crush on her and it went on from there and becoming a really interesting journey, which I want you to hear for yourself from Liz Benny.
What was that spark that told you it was the internet and teaching people stuff on the internet? Like, was there a friend who dragged you to a conference, an ad popped up on your feed, or you just Google the heck out of it?
So I'm going to be raw, real and honest, as it's the only way I know how to be. So I remember I started, there's this guy that kind of fell for me, and he was like, oh my gosh, Liz Benny, you could just make money just by being you. Come into this project. And we started this project together. It was called Together Be Happy. And we were going to help the world by being happy. And I was going to be a goofball and he was going to manage all the back end. And then we had a designer come in. And it turned out that he fell in love with me and he energetically cheated on his wife with me. I had no concept of all of this. And he also had a pornography site that he was making all of his money from. And all of a sudden, Google shut all of that down. And I'm like, I had no idea that I was in business with a person that had a porno site on the side. That was news to me. And then all of a sudden, he had no money. And what happened was I'd built up enough knowledge from a search engine optimization, so SEO standpoint. I'd built up enough belief in myself. I'd built up enough stuff that I understood from my master's degree that positivity is, I actually have a master's degree and undergraduate degree as well. Got a bachelor's in social sciences and a master's in positive psychology. And, from all of that, I got to the point where I needed to quit working with him. It just wasn't working in any way, shape or form. And I went back and I like overnight, I just got a job. Like I'm like these people, I remember applying for this job for being a search engine optimization and social media specialist. And I applied and I was thinking, oh, well, this is going to be a massive thing. And then the next day they were like, can we interview you? I'm like, okay, cool. And then like everyone else was gone and all of a sudden I had a job. They wanted me around in the office as much as humanly possible. So that's one of the things that I needed to wake up to, is the fact that, and going back to it's just me-itis, I have had this thing, like it's just me, like this is just how I roll, but I have to understand that people pay me for my energy. People pay to be
Exactly.
So when you're in business for yourself and you're presented with a solution that just seems too simple, a lot of times we just, have a hard time accepting it. So we talk about that here in this conversation, and really specifically, how do we overcome that?
I have been trying to drum this. There are some of my clients who talk about the numbers or the history or the years. And I say there is a monetary value to your face being on the screen and just being you. Some people just have it effortlessly. Some people, it takes a bit more work. But there is like your net worth will go up because of your personality. And it's hard to wrap your mind around it because you can't equate that to a degree or a book or something like that. It's just you. And people don't like it being so easy. They want to.
Oh, exactly that. that, please, yes. And I just saw that I blew the mic out. I apologize for that. But I just got excited. Like, people don't like it being easy, and people try to overcomplicate it, myself included. I'm like, it can't be this easy. I have to go and build 5 million funnels and 5 million upsells. And then eventually people listen to me on a podcast and they're like, oh my gosh, I loved you on that podcast. Like, can I just I literally just was on a podcast just before, and I told a story about the fact that I was being interviewed by Jeff Lerner. He said, let's play. And I'm like, okay, cool, let's play. We ended up playing, and I had Play-Doh beside me. And all of a sudden, I was playing like a little kid. And sometimes little kids make things out of Play-Doh that,
Where are we going
there
with
we
this?
go.
Where are we going with this?
Thank you. Well, I mean, I don't know how clean we are. No, well, the thing is, I made a visual aid of, let's just say there might have been 2 things certain shape and then one longer thing, and I might have smushed them together to make an entire unit, and I showed that live on a podcast. That one podcast, with me just having the opportunity to just, be like, have fun on the podcast, has changed so many lives. And it even blows my brain that I can just jump on a podcast and speak and inspire. And people are like, holy crap, if she can do that, and if she can really do that, then, what's possible for me? And I think that a lot of people just make it way too much harder than it needs to be. So to go back to your question, they hired me because of my energy and my skills. And I think that was something that really helped. And I was making $45,000 per annum. And I was like, this isn't the financial wealth that I desire. I know there's way more possible for me. So I had that internal cadence and belief that, I could be a millionaire and I could do this. And I always knew that I wanted to be a millionaire. And then eventually I quit, and they were like, can we keep you on part-time? Right. And then I just, look, the rest is history. I started a social media company. I created content for other people, and I saw the power of content. And from there, the rest is history.
If you're already a millionaire, then you probably remember the exact moment when you had those 7 figures in your bank account, or you reached that revenue goal. We discussed the exact moment when she realized she had $1 million and how that impacted her life and everybody around her, including her family.
Now, I asked this question a lot. Do you remember the moment when you realized you're a millionaire, or that you made $1 million in a year? Like, for some people, it's a very emotional thing, and it's like 50-50 right now. Some people blow past it and they realized, hey, that was 6 months ago or something. What was that for you, if that was a goal?
So I remember sitting, it was never really, quote unquote, a goal. I have been the person who, if I focus on the bank account, it's not how I do it. It's just not how I arrive. Like, I've never wanted to be. I know that people like, Alex Hormozy, he checks the bank account and he, checks all that sort of stuff. For me, I'm driven, and I tick in a slightly different way. So I personally have not checked my bank account in probably 6-7 years now. Maybe 6 years. I haven't checked the bank account.
Liz, that's kind of crazy. Can I tell you why? It's because I haven't either. And I haven't said that publicly because I'm just like, that sounds so irresponsible. I have good people on my team. My wife is the one who watches the bank accounts. I've got operations managers, and I believe that I've communicated the mission well enough that they know what to do and to warn me if something's going wrong or if something's going great. But I literally tell them, keep that away from me and just tell me what do we need to do to get it right if something's going wrong. I've never said that publicly, but thank you for giving me permission just now. I don't.
Oh, dude, I tick exactly the same way. But like, it's not a matter of being irresponsible. I've got people in my corner. Like, my wife is also the person that, she checks absolutely everything, and that's absolutely fine. We've got a bookkeeper. I'm fiduciarily responsible, but I don't tick that way. For me, I need to focus on vision and mission and purpose and service, and like, what's that side of the business. So coming to that point, I remember being in Australia with my mum, sitting at a cafe, to get back to your question. And my wife, Christy, was over in New Zealand, and she texted me through and she said, the accountant just said, we've had our best year yet. And I was like, and I remember looking at it and going, and I got snippets of information. Because to be honest with you, I have also been quite hard on myself. So if I hit like 500 grand when I knew that I could have hit a million, I would kind of go, like, so for me, it's just better to keep focused on where I'm going. But I remember looking and going, holy crap. And I burst into tears because I was there with my mom, and my mom and I weren't super close at that point in time. But she said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I've just had my best year." Yeah. And she just said, "Elizabeth, I'm so proud of you." And I was like, holy crap. In that moment, it was like, wow, that was a beautiful moment.
I'm so glad that you crystallized that so well. I think that a lot of people don't appreciate it. The moment you hit 1 million, you're automatically, without taking a break, you're after 10 million, right?
Hey guys, thanks for sticking with me all the way to the end of this video of the conversation I had with Liz Benny, extraordinaire, entrepreneur, millionaire, content creator. So if you want to see the full podcast episode, an hour long, and find out the rest, click right here. There's going to be a link there so you can watch the full episode. And as always, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe so you can see more like this. And I will see you in the next video.